it slide, find your zone every day.
What is going on, you guys? It is Dollar Cost Crypto here with Dollar Cost Crypto. What's going on, you guys? Shoo! Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. What is going on, you guys? I'll explain that later, Brian. But hey, welcome, you guys. Yeah, man, what's going on? I hope you guys like the new intro. Hopefully that doesn't get flagged. I'll keep trying new intros until I find one that's not getting flagged. But the back half of the video is really like the important part of that intro right there. But what's going on, you guys? Shoo! Welcome surprise. Yeah, do that. I love that meme. It is so amazing. But yeah, what's going on? Didn't have to cut me off. But boom. This looked hella HD. I know I finally got the camera to work in 1080p. I mean, it took a minute. I have no idea why. Hey, man, I've been hitting the gym, dude. I don't know about well rested. I didn't sleep. Not a peep, dude. I could not sleep last night at all. Like, I probably slept a couple hours. That's it. So I am, though if I look wonderful, that's awesome. Let's see. Definitely. Oh, you're gonna learn a lot today for sure. But let's get straight into it, man. You guys, let's talk about one of the reasons why the hex price has been dumping. Do you see the hex price dumped to 10 cents? Actually, I had quite a few of my students actually pick them up at 9 cents. So shout out to you guys. Once again, I was on the phone and missed the opportunity personally. But thank you, Pauly D. That's wonderful. But so basically, there's been some drama going on in the hex community with Rackham from Overwatch Partners and everything like that. So basically, what's been going on is that Rackham for Overwatch Partners. For you guys who don't know, he's a very big whale. I don't know if he's the biggest, but he's basically top 3 whales in the hex ecosystem. And the dude's already rich already. Before he got into hex, but invested into hex, has quite a lot of it, and he's been getting connections and stuff like that with to Richard. And basically, I guess some of these connections are very conservative types, basically. And these conservative types, I guess, didn't like it when Richard was talking about, like, this is how big my PP is. My PP is 6.2 M or whatever the fuck he was saying about his dick. Which, I found it pretty funny personally, but I guess some of these conservative types were supposedly listening on with their children in the room or something like that. I don't know why you would listen to Richard Hart in your room with your kids, because, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and on top of that, he supposedly in some of these, he put this all public out on Twitter and stuff like that. I mean, personally, I have no ill will towards either gentleman. But I guess Rackham was pretty much saying that, he was talking to, he got people to sacrifice for PulseChain that were from like Saudi oil money. So I was like, that's news to me. Saudi oil money? We talking about oil? We talking about oil? Shit. I was like, what? I was like, wow. So I look better than 369. Yeah, I do, right? But so I was just really shocked by that. I was like, whoa. So some people, I guess it's possible that some people dumping, either it could be Rackham, I'm not saying it is, or it's maybe some of the affiliate with some of the people who Rackham essentially was able to get into hex, possibly. So either way, it is what it is. Richard ain't gonna change for nobody. I mean, if he doesn't like somebody, he doesn't like somebody. That's what he is. But but this is the interesting thing, is that even though hex is supposed to be just hex itself, but what Rackham did is also something what I did is when I invested into PulseChain and hex, I invested into Richard Hart. Well, I understand how Richard is, so I'm not surprised by any of this shit. But I don't know why he would be surprised. I mean, it took even for me, like, I think back in the day, like, personally, just spill some tea here, I tried to get Celsius and I tried to get Alex Machinsky and Richard to talk and stuff like that, and then they torpedoed that. I mean, I think it was on the Richard side. They torpedoed that shit down real quick. So you try to make your connections and you just try to help out, but sometimes just some personalities don't match, and it just is what it is, But yeah, man, I ain't dodging shit today, man. I don't dodge anything at all, but but that's pretty much what's going on right there. I think it's a good opportunity to get some cheap hex right now. DCA, don't waste the whole stack, but if you don't have any, like, what the fuck you doing? Like, seriously, like, it's around, like, the snapshots around the corner, and the announcement. So we're going to have a big hex live stream with Richard Hart on his channel on, I think, in 2 days. In 2 days, around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is about 40-ish minutes from this time, basically, is when it's going to start. And it's going to be with the director of the Heist of Stakes movie that they're producing right now for that. And there might be some alpha leaks in there of when there's going to be some alpha leaks, basically, of when you know, everything's going to be launching out and stuff like that. So hopefully that, if not, then basically it's going to go back to my original kind of estimation of when the snapshot's more than likely going to be is probably the last week of this month. I personally think it's the 25th, May 25th. And after a couple days after it's over, you know, prices go down for a bit, and then from there we're going to get the actual soft launch of PulseChain, and then the real launch with the bridge and everything else intact, and trading and stuff on PulseX and stuff. So that's kind of the timeline. So I'm still in. I think the timeline is really PulseChain comes out in June, not May. But the snapshot and a lot of that stuff happens in May. But if it does happen in May, shit, I'll take it. Fuck, the sooner the fucking better, man. I've been waiting since last summer. You know, I've sacrificed for PulseChain, PulseX, Mintra, Liquid Loans, a bunch of shit. And let's get this shit started. Let's get it. But that's pretty much what's going on right now. Do you smoke cigars, ECC? I'll bring some. Okay, very, very, very occasionally, but I'll definitely smoke one for sure. But we'll have to smoke them outside and stuff. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's keep going down. Let's see. Yeah, this shit looks hell HD. I know, dudes. I know. Okay, let's keep going. What's up, Tex-Mex, man? What's going on, brother? Going good, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah, drama always pops up during downtimes. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of is the way of the world and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, it's like the tide comes in, the tide goes out, you know, and right now the tide's going back and it's exposing a lot of people, and, you know, people just get pissy and stuff, you know. Yeah, but hey, you survive during these times, you're going to make it during the good times and stuff, because good times will come. I mean, it's just phases in the market, you know. But yeah, let's see. Girth built like a tuna. My God, Bubba. Hit the like button, you guys, for Tuna Can, baby. Sandy Beach, what's up? Hey, DC. Oh, hey, what's going on? That's correct. Yeah, Richard Hart is not PG at all, you guys. Not at all. But definitely, let's see. Brian Ray, this setback won't stop Richard. It's his person. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you invest in what type of, if that's what you knew that's what he was. Why would you think he was going to change? I mean, literally, it's like I mean, imagine it's like you're dating some girl, and she's a fucking stripper and shit. And I just thought, like, I'd be able to turn a hoe into a housewife. My God. Oh, okay. Let's see. DCC, do you think Celsius is in trouble? A lot of people pulling out. No. Well, I can't say where I got these sources from, so it's like I made it up, right? No. Legitimately, I got a good sources. The company is well capitalized, but as of, I mean, I just been telling people personally just to take all their assets off of Celsius, because the snapshot's coming. So why wouldn't you? Like, I took all my synthetics off of Celsius. I've got my Litecoin, even though the Litecoin won't get copied over, I just took it off just because, just to have it in my custody, because I'm gonna do some stuff with some of that Litecoin. And I took some of my Celsius off there, so I'm gonna convert some of my liquid Celsius into. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do DAI or Hex. I mean, like, if Hex gets down to the 9 cents, I'll probably convert some of that into Hex, possibly, for the snapshot and stuff. But I'll have to see. It just depends. It depends what opportunity gives me. If the Hex price doesn't go down, and it's like, well, you know, I'll just keep it. If it ends up going down further, then I'll just use some of that Celsius to get some Hex, get the snapshot on it, and then kind of reconfigure everything back later on, basically. But that's pretty much what I'm thinking. No, the company's pretty. I mean, they just announced Like, here's the thing: is like the SEC's kind of coming after the whole crypto space, both on the stablecoin side and the centralized entity side. They're about to go public with a Bitcoin mining firm and stuff. So they have this whole part of Celsius, which is for mining BTC. They're going to go public with that on the equities market, and they're probably going to get some good amount of cash. And if they did have any problems, they're probably going to get enough money off of that. But personally, I don't think they have financial problems on that side. But in terms of user base and stuff, yeah, they've been gutted for sure. I mean, if the SEC ends up striking something down where you can't earn fucking yield, and then you have to be an accredited investor you have to have you have to have $1 million net worth, not including your house. to then be allowed by the government of the United States to say, okay, you are now allowed to earn yield more than a bank pays you. Go DeFi, you guys. Take Crypto Mindset Q3. That's going to come out in a couple months, basically. So if you don't know how to DeFi, we can teach you. There's a lot of yield out here. There's a lot of ways to, earn passive income on these cryptos and stuff. And a lot of cryptos you guys already own already. You might, what are you doing not earning any money on them? Why not? But, do you guys. Wow, I got jumped all the way to the bottom. Wow, I got to scroll all the way up now. Shit. You didn't have to cut me off. Okay, let's see. I don't want that oil money to sack. I want them to buy after lunch. Hey, shit. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, they don't really care, man. They're so fucking rich that, yeah, I mean, they will. I mean, it's still early for them. I mean, just let us. I mean, basically, let's just get as much as we can and just let them rocket ship us up after they oh my god, this thing's actually doing really well. Boom. Hex got that Arab money, yeah, for sure. The Saudis, and a lot of Saudi Arabia and a lot of those other countries in the Middle East and stuff, they're deeply in crypto because I mean they see the transition. So this is one way. Like Abu Dhabi is fucking popping right now with crypto people. Portugal recently just got kind of fucked actually. A lot of people in the government are actually starting to propose. This may not go through right now, but they're starting to propose. So one of the main reasons why people really moved to Portugal was to save on taxes. Well, that just basically they're starting to. It's because the whole crypto space is starting to come on fire, and this is one thing that I was a little skeptical about with Portugal. Though it was a good option, is a good middle ground instead of going to Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi, was if you lived in Europe, you could just go to Portugal, and that's still within the mainland European Union, and you would be essentially tax free on your crypto. Well, they're trying to get rid of that now. They want to tax crypto now. So honey potted, fuck. So that may still be a year or 2 years out before all that fucking ends up happening with the taxes on that side. So there may be people that might be grandfathered in, or maybe given a leeway of time or something like that. But they were talking no taxes, now they're talking taxes. Shit, let's go with pump my bags, oil sheiks, yes sir. Whales acting all righteous and shit. Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. I'm a major in psychology. Seems pretty narcissistic, but there are good and bad ways to use it. Richard's making us money, so yeah. Let's see. Clap Adam DCC. I will, bro. I will. Let's see. Sincerely? Okay, I like the Magic Cat, but it's all sad and dark. Let's see. Would no bridge trading p hedron based on hex hedron ratio be a good idea? They should have a similar. That arbitrage should work because but wait until after p hex kind of starts breaking peg downwards. I think. Well, during the no bridge phase, I guess, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So if there's no bridge phase, then yeah. So that should work, but you got to watch the thing. You want to get as much bang for your buck for p hex versus the hedron if you're trying to get more hedron. But if you're just trading in between them, then yeah, basically, because you could treat it as a pair where you don't give a fuck, because if you get stuck on hedron and you like hedron, then you're fine. But if you like the p hex, you got more p hex, you're fucking winning. But you got to be really cognizant of that fact as soon as the bridge does open, that it's very possible some guys who got a lot of p hex just sell it off to get a bunch of hex, which crashes the p hex price. But then that's an opportunity of a lifetime. So yeah, be very careful. Okay, where you can win a lot, but you can really lose a lot during that all that impermanent loss phase. So just be really careful. And if any of you guys want some help and stuff and figuring out strategies for all that, just hit me up in the DM right now. Wow, can't even talk today, man. This is what happens when I don't get any sleep. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep right now. Yeah, in the wow, in the description box below, there's a link to my Twitter. You can DM me there, and then I can help you out with strategies for the PulseChain launch, as well as help you guys out with your overall portfolio. I just recently helped out quite a few people with quite a lot of coins that needed to be sheared down to size to kind of concentrate things around. So, yeah, let's keep going. We'll see. Oh, Tex-Mex, I'm catching you live at home, dude. Fuck yeah, man. I hope you're resting up, man. Like this guy, Tex-Mex is he's the hardest working trucker in America right here. One of the hardest working truckers in the world right here, man. It's a good man right here. Get some rest, man. Have a cerveza. Don't get too drunk, okay? No, omi tequila añejo, okay? That's all I want from you, man. Yeah. Can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You got it, man, for sure. Where did the 304 thing come from? Like I maybe I just missed that whole I was like chicken head and how hoe into a housewife. I know all that shit, but like the 304, I think maybe before my time, possibly. Let's see. Did he sample TikTok? Boy, DC hates. I think people have been doing like parodies of it now and stuff, but it's pretty funny. Let's see. I read some degens reading out saying my 160K of Luna is now worth $35, and my wife almost had fuck, dude. Yeah, I mean that's not cool. But this is why look, this is something that me and Charlie have been teaching since the jump. Do not use leverage, and so I got to put this out there. Do not use leverage. Okay. Now this isn't particular to Luna, but sort of to Luna, because people were levering themselves, borrowing money and stuff, and that's how they got insta-wrecked there, and they lost their money right off the bat, and then whatever they had left went to fucking zero. But do not use leverage. You do not need it in crypto. There already is enough volatility in it. Maybe, this is a big maybe. Maybe 5, 10, 15 years from now, you might have to use a little bit of leverage just because the volatility is down, because it's a bigger market, because there's so much money in the space. And I still would probably not be recommending it at all, honestly. We have shown people if they fucking have to use leverage, or like use 3x leverage, don't go past that shit. But people still fucking do retarded shit. So you can still get fucking stomped. You can still get stomped out on 3x leverage. When you take a loan, a 25% LTV loan, you're 1.25x long, technically. So that means if the price crashes 75%, 80%, liquidated. And does that happen in crypto? All the time. So you have to use these tools if you're going to use them at all during like when everyone's like, oh, it's over, you guys, then you use it. But you could be shown that, like, and some people borrowed on their shit where you can keep going 50%. You can keep going 50% down forever on certain cryptos. Most of them, really. You have to be really, really careful. So that's on the leverage side. The other part too is we do a diversified portfolio, right? But does that mean that you can have plays? You can do a 5-10% play in a coin that you really like. If it's a shit coin but you really love it, I mean, shit, you can do 10%. But if you decide to do more, this is where you can get riggedy wrecked. But having all your eggs in one basket, right? Me and Charlie talked about this last night in a giant webinar, a mega webinar that we did for our guys, and we told them, and like in our community really wasn't affected with this too much, but it's a sort of thing where like people do this shortcut to the citadel, right? Where like they see an opportunity in order to get super rich super quickly, and they concentrate all their money and wealth into one coin. And if it works out, they win big. Woo! But then from there, even the guys who win big, they don't cash out enough to fucking really win. If it stays up high enough, they're like, all right, cool, I got some cash. Yeah, I'm over here, they're the crap stable and stuff. Let's see what I rolled. Fucking 9. Okay, that's not bad. But I was hoping for a 7. But like, that's the kind of stuff that can happen to people. And then on the other side, they bet it all on black, and they fucking red hits, and they get nailed. They lose it all, or they're down bad, and they keep doing that. They keep going all in on one project. All in. This one, bam, fuck. All in on this one, bang, fuck. No, all in on this. Fuck, this shit's a scam. Fuck this, I'm out. And what do like, you buy some Bitcoin if you want Bitcoin. I'm personally lean more towards Ethereum, but hey, you Bitcoin or Ethereum, you go a little heavier, cool. Then from there, you make your base, you make your bets, and over time, if you want to add more capital to the other bets, you can. But that way, if something goes bad, you have something to lean back on. You're not out, right? You're playing the craps. Like obviously, like I'm making casino references because of money and chips and stuff like that. But let's just say like you still got some money here. So like if you got BTC, if you always got BTC, if everything's still kind of priced in BTC and ETH, and you always have BTC and ETH, you're never knocked out of the game. You can come back. You're like, fuck, well that was an L. I'll take that licking, regroup back, and then get back in it and stuff when shit gets popping, or I see another opportunity and you strike and you get in. And if you do your research, you can do that. And if it shoots up on you and you're like, wow, I got in early and I did very well in this, then you can take some profits and rebalance a little bit. Not sell the whole bag, but take some profits and then keep taking profits as things go up and down and stuff, and you're able to yield out on it. But like people want to like hyper concentrate all money, all in on Luna, you guys. All in. Like damn, you know? Whew. Anyway. Let's see, Oscar. Why are appealing people? Well, you should be. There's a lot of ways to earn, interest on your stables and stuff like that outside of Celsius. But in terms of that, like right now, it's like I think you'd be better off just because we don't know when the snapshot is. You want to have your stables on a MetaMask or a wallet that you control, a Trezor, a Model T, a Ledger, or something like that, and then you're able to get the copy of that USDC. Now you've got PUSDC on the PulseChain, and then you're able essentially to like change that into either PulseChain or PulseX, and then get something there. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, okay, yeah. So what's up, Jeremy? Let's see, DCC. Can you give me more detail on how the prices of bribes and the Beats wars are determined? Yeah, for sure. So they're pretty much determined basically by it's essentially a free market where okay, beats are worth a certain amount of money, and those emissions essentially give you money for people to provide liquidity there. So it gives you projects what they'll have to do is they have to take money out of their own pocket. They have to gauge okay, how much is the token worth? How much should I put up there? Like we can actually take a look at it. Let's take a look. Now, Beats bribe wars are not entirely 100% accurate. It's roughly close, but it's something insane, basically. Let's see. So right here, right. So right now they're bribing about roughly like $69,000. So basically, these projects right here are the ones that are putting money up right now in order to actually keep up liquidity in their pairs and stuff. And then people vote that way. So you've got 13% of the votes here. This isn't completely entirely correct, but basically this is what's going on right now where these projects are putting up money. So collectively there's about this. I think it's a little higher than this personally because the guys at Reaper have like do personal deals with and promise a certain amount of votes for stuff. So this may be closer to like $85,000, but this is pretty much happening every week or two on the votes and stuff. So it's a good little passive income. But when Beats is up in price and stuff, it's worth more. Then people will bribe more because those rewards are pretty valuable. And then as well as the team also provides liquidity on their own token, and this is a way for them to earn money on their token without selling their token, basically, while earning Beats. So it's like a fine line where like they're offering let's just say $80,000 of rewards, but the beat emissions are probably worth about maybe 140, maybe twice as much as what they're giving. So obviously they're always going to put less than what's been giving in order to incentivize that, so they can get paid back their money, basically, as well as allows you to trade in liquidity between these tokens. Yep. Bum, 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 bum. Supposedly Luna. I'm lost on that one. I don't know what you mean by that. Let's see. I know that's how he was coming out with these more than yeah. Wow. Damn. There's a lot of comments, you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, man. I really appreciate it, you guys. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. Let's get to it. Let's see. 403 reads Ho on an. Oh my God. Really? Is that really where 403 came from? Wait, it's from his calculator. Wait, 403. Oh my, you guys are fucking wow. Man, that is really some like, man, wow. That is so funny. But yeah, okay. Let's see, sincerely. Okay. About P Hex and P Hedron trading, I don't mean LPing it. I mean swinging between P Hex and P Hedron guided by the. You can, but you have to. But the thing is during this tumultuous time when this is going on right now in the pools, it may not track exactly one for one because you got to remember, people paid money for their Hedron, people paid money for their Hex. They didn't pay anything for these copies, so people might be a little bit more brazen and more like flippant like with that and stuff for a while until the PulseChain system really cements itself, and then people start accruing much more value to the PRC20s, which will happen at some point. So just be very careful with that, because the pricing, just because it tracks some way with the parrot, but that may not be the case on the PulseChain side until more news or more stuff comes out, as well as when you start having more Hedron sort of related news on PulseChain. I paid extra for that sad cat. Oh, so it's a real cat. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Did Rack? I mean, possibly. I don't really know, but he could have for sure. Some poor bastard probably put everything into dude. Couple $1,000 bet. You know, you don't throw the whole stat. That's fucking wow, man. It's a bull market if you zoom out far enough. I mean, technically, I mean, yeah, I think we're just still correcting down. I think there's still one more. I think there's one more pump left in this bitch. I really do believe that. Just off of what's kind of going on, the Fed right now doesn't have much of a choice right now. Like, they're just trying to increase the rates as much as they can. They're pretty much only going to be able to increase rates one more time before the market just goes into a fucking cataract arrest and shit. And then they're going to have to print money. They're going to have to print money. Like right now, I mean, like household spending's fucking collapsed right now. And we're probably going to, at some point this year, especially if there's people getting voted into office and stuff between now and next year, they're going to have to end up giving people, money. And there's going to be more stimmy checks. Though a lot of those stimmy checks are probably, a lot of them are going to be paid for bills and stuff, but there's people who are going to receive stimmy checks and just gamble it, and that'll pump up the market and stuff. And then, that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. This could. I think we're going to have a pretty good end of the year, more decent than we are doing right now. They're just trying to fight us out right now in order to put regulation on stable coins and put a lot more of a noose over the crypto market. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. When PulseChain? June. Didn't have to cut me off. Life's a Ponzi, not a scam. Yeah, Luna down from 100 to next. Fuck, dude. There were some big players behind that fall, man. Trust me. Like, that was going to play out, just not as rapidly. At some point, like, that's kind of why I was stepping away from Luna. I took profits on Luna at maybe like $81. Or I kind of felt like a dum when I sold it. If I'm being fair, I bought it 14, 20 bucks. It went up to 80 bucks, sold it, and then it went up to like all-time highs. And like, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like, well, fuck, I missed. Oh well, whatever. And then I was looking at Luna a while, and I was like, you know what? If it comes down to like the 40s, I'll take a shot at it. But then from there, I just saw it like free falling. So like, okay, I'll wait until like, I think I'd said like, I might buy this at $8, and then I just saw there was no resistance. It was just kept falling, so I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. I just kept waiting forever, and then eventually, I think I took a little shot. I was like, I tippy toed with a couple $100 at like 4 cents. Kept going, and I was just forget this shit, and then I just let it go. From there, that's pretty much what's going on right now. Yeah. Let's see. I'm thinking about converting my Phantom to USD and bridge back. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You can definitely do that. Just obviously, that's no financial advice on that, but yeah, you can definitely do that. That's something fine. Another option as well for a stable coin you guys could do if you want to diversify, just in case, just not to have all your stable coin in one bag. You could also use DAI as well. My camera's so blurry. What's going on? There we go. Whoa, my camera went super blurry. Yeah, so you can definitely do that basically. Hex 11 cents, that's a good price. That's basically the last price that I really bought a lot of Hex at was 11 cents. So I think that's going to be fine. Watch it and stuff. If you can catch it at 10, 9, 8, set limit orders on Matcha if you guys want. And that might hit. let's see. Celsius going to be okay. I think longer term, yeah, but it's just like I mean, right now they're in talks of just completely revamping the token because they totally fucked the boat on that. Personally, I mean, they fucked it up. Totally fucked it up. They were beating crypto.com and they just being stupid let it essentially get past them and stuff. So but it's possible that maybe they had news about the SEC going to come after them, so they were already like they were just trying to build up the OTC desk in the larger portion of the market because they knew they were going to get fucked on that, and then that possibly what could have happened, but I don't know, you know. But yeah, we told people to take profits on it between like $4.55, and then that was just it, you know. So yeah. Whoa, I'm all the way at the bottom now. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's keep going. Yeah, Beats has a cover a couple of weeks. That's correct. Indica sativa, probably a body high. I don't like the head highs personally, so I'm not sure which. I mean, to tell you the truth, I don't really smoke that much, but you know, I'll partake for sure. But more of a body high. I hate the head highs and shit. I hate being paranoid. Fucking pisses me off. Why is Hex down right now? Go to the beginning of the stream. I went over it. It's pretty much over Saudi oil money. But you know the crazy thing is, Richard said, "Hey, PulseChain's in like T-minus 10 days." If he just gave us like I'm doing the snapshot and like you guys, PulseChain will be launched in less than 3 months guaranteed now. Or like if all people want is like a date, like a close date, and people are like, "Oh my god," and then send it. That's what's gonna happen. You know, but people get spectacle. Thoughts on Phantom? I still like it. I just been very slowly acquiring on those assets and stuff like that. I mean, personally, I made a. And this is kind of crazy because I'm just doing a couple speculation plays. I bought Tarot. Here, I'll show you guys. I bought this coin recently, but a small amount. Like I bought maybe like $3,000-$4,000 of it. Nothing for my portfolio. I mean, like which is a small amount. For someone else, that might be someone like, I just bought like $100, $200 or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, I bought it at 6 cents, so I'm already up 50% of my money. Nice. So I bought a little bit of it. It's down 13% today. I bought it in the 6 cent range. Yeah, it's about, when I bought it, it was just like, I think it was like $1.8 million market cap. Tarot's going to end up creating its own Tarot on Optimism. So is a bunch of other chains. So there's a lot. So right now I'm currently investing in projects in the Phantom ecosystem that are bridging over and creating separate sources of income on different chains. The cool thing about this is that they're not creating more tokens. They're just putting their services on other chains. So it just shows robustness and the team's ability to actually get onto another blockchain and stuff like that. So this is all in preparation for what's probably going to end up happening in late quarter 3, quarter 4 with the merge that's going to happen with Ethereum. I still believe that's going to happen, and I think that's a triple happening event that'll pretty much, if we haven't bottomed out already, that'll be like the event that's going to kickstart this bitch back up and put us into that big pump and stuff. And during that pump and stuff, just make sure to take profits, you guys. I personally do believe we're going to be back at like a $4,000 Ethereum. And I think that's just off of how much the market's getting kicked in the teeth. I think that's pretty much all I'm expecting on the price right now. But we are going to have we are probably going to have a little bit lower on Ethereum. So buying some Ethereum right now is not a terrible idea. But if it goes a little bit lower, we're looking at, worst case $1,400 to current prices is kind of the range of where I see Ethereum. And if you're able to snag that up and you're able to catch that W on the way up and stuff, buy the rumor, sell the news, you could pocket some good cash that way. And for Ethereum, for Phantom itself, it's so cheap right now. I'm just slowly accumulating. Also, I still have my Boo and everything else as well. So yeah, it's dirt cheap. But this is when people don't want to buy because they're scared. Do you think DeFi can? Yeah, I think it will come back. The team's back in place and stuff. People, it just, I mean, all crypto's down. And once we start getting a little more, once we finally have like smooth seas, we'll start seeing coins go back up. That's all it is. People are just like with their capital like this, waiting to see what happens. Okay, Chris Stowe with the $5 super chat came a little late, so everyone who bought into is screwed out of their money, basically. And well, there's talks right now of there's a certain amount of money left over where they're thinking about giving everyone their money back for smaller accounts. So they're like, well, look, this money is not going to be either way. None of the whales are going to be made whole at all or anything like that. So let's just give it to all the small guys, which is, yeah, for sure they should make the small guys whole. And now, I don't know if these numbers are correct, but supposedly they could make about 99% of people whole again. But there's some of the top guys who held a shit ton, which they're not going to get their money back. So if that's the case, then fucking do it. Fuck it. Let the big guys take a haircut on that because, they had enough money to speculate. Well, they can take the haircut, I guess, or zero. Let's see. Hexacantone with the $5 super chat. Let's see. What percentage of PHEX should we swap for Pulse and PulseX on day one of launch? Should we DCA throughout the first month if we miss both? Well, if you don't have any, you're going to have to end up DCAing throughout the first month if we miss them. Yeah. But remember not to DCA all the cash, and as well as at some point, there's going to be a big crash down. There's going to be a nice 80% correction on the price of PulseChain or PulseX, and that'd be a nice time to start. But remember, always keep some money in the cut, a little bit of money in the cut, because if you just see like, oh my God, that's the red candles, like, oh my God, it's dead. And if you believe in it, that's where you should DCA in hard, right? But in terms of PHEX, it really depends. Like, right, if you're like, what percentage of my PHEX should be swapped for pull? If you have a certain amount of PHEX, it depends. If you have none of it, you're gonna have to swap a little bit more, I'm guessing. But if you do have some already, like I wouldn't because some of these positions are going to be really your golden childs. I wouldn't swap more than 20% personally, a good old 80-20 principle rule. But if you don't have any at all, you're going to have to make the decision for yourself. Everybody has a very individual portfolio as well as like what they have. And you're just going to have to make the decision on like, is this enough? And like, you know what, I see a little downturn. Like I see PHEX not performing as well as these other coins. I do believe out of the three, PulseChain is going to perform the best because most people don't have it, and they're going to start selling their other coins for it. So the PulseChain price is probably going to do really good. So if you can get your hands on it, I think it can do pretty well. But not financial advice, of course. None of this is financial advice. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's see. How do you feel? Okay, let's see. Wow, I'm gonna butcher this, dude. I'm sleepy. Zibs, bro. Zibzab with the $5 super chat. Sorry, bro. If I fucked your, I'm so sorry. How do you feel about H bar? Do you think it's worth? Fuck no, dude. I think Hedera Hashgraph is not good at all. I think you can get it way cheaper. Way cheaper. Let's take a look, because there's the incentive program didn't even come out for it. They didn't let's see, H bar. Yeah, Hedera Hashgraph is number 36 in market cap, $2 billion. This is probably going to $1 billion. If we get one more downturn, this thing's gonna be sold off. Like there's not any ecosystem that I could speak to. I don't even think they ever released the incentive program. They were going to release a shit. Like at the time, it was like, was it $30 billion of coins at the time and stuff like that? That hasn't even happened. So that means there's no incentives for people to build on Hedera right now. You'll be able to buy this way cheaper. I mean, way cheaper. Yeah, I mean, you're maybe a slight DCA into this. Maybe if 5 cents. 4 cents. If you really fuck with it and you really think, I think you can catch us. I think this is going down another like 5 to 6 cents personally. Yeah. But thank you so much for the super chat. Will there be a PulseChain live stream? Like I'm probably going to end up doing one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and as well as like a bunch of flash webinars for my guys. That's actually, I think that's old news. That may have happened. That may have happened last year. Now, okay, is hyperinflation avoidable at this point? It feels like we're all past the tipping point. The USD is going to deep from what? So, do you mean if you comment down, I'll try to find your comment again. Just go into more. So, the dollar's not going to peg because, like, look, at the end of the day, it's like we're like 60% of global trade in the world right now. I mean, I'm sorry. about 80 to 90% of all world global trade is denominated in dollars. So it's a sort of thing with the dollar right now that like everyone has to use dollars. So if the Fed is over here tightening, and then it just when the Fed tightens, it tightens up all the other nations. So then people have to start paying back loans, and it starts this tightening cycle. But then people need dollars, and this means that people hold on to dollars. So this increases the price of dollars versus other currencies, versus other assets, and like food and stuff like that. One of the reasons why we're getting increasing prices is because we've had these fake COVID lockdowns, or these Android 19s. But on top of that, we've also had this entire thing with China going back into lockdown again, and this is putting basically a squeeze. So where the capital is available, but there's no supply, people start bidding up the price of these things. So we're getting kind of artificial price increases. We still should be getting price increases because we've been doing a lot of printing. The government and the Federal Reserve, but it shouldn't be this bad and pronounced. It's because there's a lack of supply, as well as whether it's been artificially created or not. I'll leave that up to you guys, but there's basically a lack of supply going on, not a lack of money. So as well, and the demand's just normal. People are just trying to buy food and the regular stuff. It isn't like people splurging and stuff like that. So this is a tight little squeeze right here. So yeah. DCC, will they start printing money as soon? Yeah, basically. Yeah. That stimmy check coming. Yep. That's why I'm saying we're going to have a nice fourth quarter. Yeah. We had a overall bad fourth quarter for other alts and stuff like that, and a lot of coins, but like a lot of the alts we were in held up pretty well, but eventually just enough of the bad news, and well, I got like Harper, my God, started turning around like kind of middle of February, basically. Damn, I got like some Harper for some reason. My God. So I locked my hedge on bonus. Do I need mint before the snapshot, or I might double check on that? I am not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure, but you should have the copy of that. Yeah, it's this whole system state copy, so I'm pretty sure Hedron will figure out a way for you to still get those coins. Okay, secret agent. Thoughts and rumors on the OA and is a DAO or an automated rather than a single human? Fuck if I know. All right, K Crypto. And I didn't mean to be so blunt about that. It's just more. It's probably a team of people. DCC, how do you think PulseChain will perform in the first 6 months? Pretty good, actually. It'll be higher than. Whatever the average price is the first 2 weeks, it'll be higher than that. By like, let me think. It'll probably be 20 times higher than the price. And if you average the price of PulseChain within the first 2 weeks, whatever the low is for the 2 weeks and stuff on average, then 20x that, that'll probably be the price is 6 months from now. Because in 6 months, we're talking about end of December, Ethereum going up. So we're basically have two massive cyclical pumps on PulseChain. So let's just say PulseChain launches in June, then the pump I think will probably last June, July. Prices are chilling out in August and kind of going down, and then September not so good, October not so good, and then we start as basically the narrative about the gas fees starting to go up on Ethereum is going to end up pumping up the price of PulseChain again. So we'll have a nice little pump. So we're going to have a good 2 to 3 month really good pump on the PulseChain ecosystem, maybe 3.5, especially depending on where liquid loans and Mintra and some of these other coins start launching, and then from there. Cool down period, obviously dip down, and then from there, when we start getting the upgrades for Ethereum, the merge, that gas increase, right? Because the gas fees are going to go up, Ethereum's going to go up in price. Things are going to get kind of like, wow, people are pushing the narrative. That's actually very good for PulseChain because fees are up, more use case for PulseChain, more onboarding. Hey, we actually have all these NFTs and stuff over here. Holy shit! Holy fuck! And then things could kind of go off from there. Yeah. RH is 6.3 PP June 3rd, possibly. Hey, yeah. Whoa. It just bounced me off to another one. Okay, David Walsh, is CAR going to rebound this year? Still holding a nice size bag of it. It could rebound some, but it needs to be with the overall market. I will say this though, Polkadot's going to start doing. Polkadot's going to start performing. I'm guessing a little bit later this year. I mean, they're starting to advertise on like on commercials and stuff for Polkadot, but they just need to keep launching more and more of their ecosystem right now. So that's pretty much what's going on. Car didn't do good because they just lagged out on launching on launching ecosystem. They stall. So Car is basically a place you can borrow and lend on your assets and stuff, which is needed in every ecosystem. You have liquid loans, you have Aave, you got things like Car, but you need an ecosystem. You need people to borrow on it. If all the users were essentially on Kusama and stuff like that, but even then they were still lagging out in launching products. So they need to increase the rollouts and stuff like that. So we need more and more of the ecosystem launch, and then from there we can get like a rebound on some of this stuff. But just is what it is. Four super chats above. I thought I answered them. No, I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Sorry, you guys. I'm just catching up. I'm literally probably 25 minutes behind on questions, so I'm going as fast as I can. Using Granary the airdrop. I haven't used Granary the airdrop. I just haven't had. I'll have to see. I mean, I'll look into it for sure. Let me know if you heard anything. Give me a DM. Shit. I appreciate it, bro. 3,000-4,000 is a small amount. Yeah, sorry. Best ways to get wrapped Ethereum. You can either. I think Coinbase does sell wrapped Ethereum. If it doesn't, then what you could do is just use Uniswap and convert it there. But if you're trying to get some place where it's really cheap wrapped Ethereum, you could just turn your Ethereum over onto Polygon, and then you can get wrapped Ethereum that way. That's a good way to do it, and it'll be cheap that way as well, other than the bridge fee. But that's the cheapest way I know to use wrapped Ethereum. So earning that crystal every day, son. Every day. Every day I'm hustling. Woo! Let's see. Looking to take advantage of cheap build and jewel dip. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that's a strat I'm doing myself personally. Right, I'm just repothcating currently right now. Sucks for anyone who deleted themselves. Deleted. Fuck. Yeah. I'm not like there's a lot of people that were laughing at the Luna guys like that. There's no laughing over here, man. I feel terrible for them, man. That fucking sucks. That could have happened to any of us in any project. Like I think like if these concentrated powers and stuff put their mind and money to destroy something, they can get away with a lot of shit. And I did think that was going to unwind, but I think a lot more people would have been able to get out versus like this was just catastrophic fucking meltdown, dude. Like, dudes, I feel so bad for them. My heart goes out for sure. Yeah, such good prices on Hex, Phantom, Boo Beats, Oath. Yeah, it goes. Yeah, Oath is holding up pretty good, but definitely just slow DCA. Don't burn through all the cash and shit like that. Phantoms. Hex is mostly the big play right now, and then from there you can then kind of allocate the way you'd like. Let's see, Doughhead talking about issuing 4-to-1 Luna airdrop on coins from Terra Station. I said this before of like if they really wanted to fix this shit, like okay, they make everyone hold that way, and what they do is they do a separate airdrop, and what they do is this is the way they're gonna have to do it is they give no one UST anymore, no UST. They give everyone basically amount of Luna that they had before the drop, and they give a certain price point, and then they can use the money to kind of hold. They just let the price free fall, and then from there, if people want to create UST, they have to burn their Luna and just restart the system that way. And that's how we'd have to do it. They'd have to just completely wreck the UST holders, and because the coin's the most valuable thing about it and stuff. Then from there, you can actually have the system work, because in order to produce more of this Luna, you would end up having to need to burn the token and stuff, which can then help the price go up. They have to completely unlever it like that, but it's going to burn some people. But it just is what it is. I mean, but if they make the UST holders hold and they give the rest of the cash to the UST holders, and they reset the whole system with the Luna holders that way, then they can just start speculating on the token, and the token could possibly go up in the future. But then, confidence has been lost on it. But it would probably it would be a lot more healthier of a system and price, but it'd be harder to get UST in order to short it, in order to break the peg, because there was no UST, so you have to create it all. So there's huge demand to even like refill pools and stuff. That's probably the one way you could probably do it, but still it doesn't fix the underlying problems that it's an algo stablecoin. So yeah. Any thoughts on the next alt season can happen 3 months from now, basically, something like that. We just need to have the final bottom drop on this wave 4 right now, and then we'll start going into wave 5 pretty much into the season. I think this wave 5 can actually be pretty extended, and then from there, I do believe we'll be in a bear market for sure. From there, yeah, I think equities, things are going to take a shit, I'm guessing. When no pour, soon, bro, soon. Just keep powering through, you guys. This is the time where people fuck off, and then they come back and they're like, oh my god, I missed all the best prices. Well, there you go. But yeah. Let's keep going. Let's see. Yeah, Sam Perchansky, supply shock is what causing the price increases. Yeah, that's a big part of it as well. And then on the other side, there's also people. This is why basically people were money are buying homes and stuff like that. And then on top of that, they destroyed like the supply chain and stuff. So the supply chain's like very limited, and it's the same amount of people bidding for less products. So that's why the prices are going up on it. And so some people are buying less of things in order to make that happen, but still it's just fucked. Not good. Only the ruble is stronger than the U.S. currently, for now. They're going to have their due at some point, I'm guessing. Any updates for PulseChain? We'll see. We'll see what the pin message is. Let's go out. BCC the oh yeah, I wish. Thanks, X Monkey. Let's see. Okay, Rainier Morales with the $9 super chat. New to crypto. How do you acquire Hex? Also, I use a Coinbase to purchase Ethereum. Do you recommend any other website? Yeah, Coinbase is a good one. Gemini is another good exchange. Kraken's another great exchange. You could use Binance USA, but I'd probably lean Coinbase, Gemini, and Kraken are the trifecta right there of the exchanges you want to use, especially if you're in the United States. And then in terms of that, you just buy Ethereum, and then you go into Uniswap. I will put the link down in the comment section in a minute, so you have the real link. Let me get you the real link real quick. Use this one. Use this link right here. You're going to need Ethereum on a MetaMask. You're going to have to create a MetaMask, and from there you just type in HEX. And then there you go. You can swap Ethereum for that. But remember, do not use up all your Ethereum. Let's just say you have one Ethereum, buy like 0.9. If you're going to buy it, just to give you a little bit of example, because you need a certain amount of Ethereum left over in order to pay for gas fees, because everything on the Ethereum network uses Ethereum as essentially as a way to pay gas fees. So, or gas fees essentially like the tax you have to pay in order to make a transaction happen on the network, basically. But thanks, man, for the great question. Tez, okay. So I missed the sacrifice phase for PulseChain. So what strategy would you suggest now for smaller bag? I'm in Solana. Basically, get Hex right now. I don't really think Solana's gonna do shit right now at all. You ain't gonna miss much in the next month with Solana. So I would just get some Hex, just keep it in your MetaMask, and then if you keep some USDC or some DAI in the wallet, and then just wait for the snapshot to happen. You can probably take some profit on Hex if it goes up for the snapshot pump, or the actual during the anticipation for the bridge to open, and then from there you can now you have another ecosystem to kind of play around in. That's the way I'd probably go. Yeah, for sure, David Walsh, for sure. Didn't have to cut me off. Let's see. Richard looks like a dick bragging over his watches being worth more than Luna. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's keep going down. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, man. Okay, Mr. Got Plenty. Wow, that name's amazing. With the $5 super chat. How should I take profit? Wait, how should I take profit? Do I sell coins or take small loans against my coins? What is the process of taking profit? Well, you've got to decide that for your own in terms of taking profits. In terms of like how to take profits, you could sell something depending on the coin. You could take 5%, 10% at a time, depending on certain levels or just certain time frames. Taking loans, you really shouldn't be taking loans when prices are very depressed and stuff. But it still comes with risk because if the coin goes down significantly, depending on the whether it's a 40%, 25% LTV loan, you can be liquidated on that. So you have to be very careful when taking loans. So you have to really be very confident that you think that the price is very suppressed, that you can't go another 80% down, which in crypto it can. And then profits is just some people decide to take profits by either selling their actual like profit, like or take their initial principal out, and then now the leftover coins are essentially something we call casino chips or just house money, even though it's your money, but it's house money. Where like if you played it wrong and like, oh no, the price kept going down, then you sell the rest of it off. It's still all profit basically, right? So at some point, if you have a position and you've been able to you've done a multiple on it, or you're just up like 100% or plus or 40% on it, you've got to make the decision whether, you know what, I'll pull this out and I'll just leave the leftover coins there as a moon bag and see what happens with it. That's something you could do. But great question. Whoa, damn man, you guys are really commenting right now. Whoa, keep getting like shut off. There we go. Hex Live with the $5 super chat. What other dexes on Ethereum? Wait, what are other dexes on Ethereum? I just know Uniswap Sushi. Are there any other Uniswap clones on Ethereum? There is, but I wouldn't really recommend them. The only other one that's actually pretty decent is Matcha. Matcha's a cool aggregator where you can here, I'll put it in the link right here. This is the matcha.xyz. It's on Ethereum, so you still have Ethereum gas fees. What you can do this swap is actually very good if you're buying over a significant amount of coins. So if you're buying something like $8,000, $10,000 of value of coins, it's a cool sort of thing where it routes it through a couple different exchanges and gets you a better rate, so you get less slippage, so you get more coins. So it's pretty effective that way. It's actually a good way to sell. If you're going to sell Hex, use Matcha or buy Hex. That way you get a better price, and it'll route you through all the correct pools, V2, V3 pools for Hex. So that's another one. I'm trying to think of anything else in terms of a pool we use. Sushi, Uniswap. I guess 1inch. But like 1inch is being kind of like anal about like VPNing people and stuff. So you have to use a VPN to use it if you're in the States, I think. So I would more than likely just probably stick to Matcha, Uniswap, and Sushi Swap. But 1inch is also another possibility. It's also an aggregator, but it's competes with Matcha, but it does have a token, and they are starting to integrate with more stuff on Ethereum and stuff because they have VC connections basically. Let's see. Do you think the $29 million that Rackham sacrificed was an Overwatch pool or his personal money only? I'm not entirely sure. Probably a pool. I'm guessing of him and his partner or his partners or something like that. That's what I'd have to guess. But yeah, I think that's what it was basically. Whoa. Safest browser for using MetaMask. Yeah, you can use Google Chrome, or Jem said like the Brave browser is cool and stuff. I never really use a Brave browser if I'm being honest and stuff, but just because personally I just hated the basic attention token as a token in terms of price performance. But a lot of people have had great Honey. People use Honey before and stuff like that, but if you use Google Chrome, it originally was made for Google Chrome, but you can use it on Brave browser for sure. Whoa, man, I'm getting a lot of chats. Wow. William Monteverde with a $10 super chat. If Ethereum gas fees keep climbing in the future, wouldn't that affect the Hex price? All RC20 tokens that matters is what we're taking Hex and for put 3. Yeah. So I've recommended. So I have a recommended list in terms of like what's the minimums to stake right now. If I have this correct and stuff, I do believe that maybe like a quarter of a T-share 3+ years out is kind of like a good kind of a range. You have to sort of calculate that out. So here, I can actually show you guys. Let's go to the handy dandy hex thing. So what network am I on? There we go. So currently, yeah. So in order to have, what's a quarter of a T-share right now? So let's go out 3 years. What is that? Let's go May of 2025. Yeah. Let's do April Fool's Day. Why not? Right. So if we want to do a quarter of a T-share, right? I think this is kind of the minimum amount. If you can afford to do a little bit more on a stake, I would do more. But a quarter of a T-share, I think personally, at 3 years out is kind of a good range, and you can get away at 5+ years out, you can go 15% of a T-share as the minimum, because by that point you should have upgrades. But there's enough kind of gain there where I think it would still be viable. But the bigger the better. These are minimums, but I would, if you can afford to do a little bit more, always do a little bit more. It protects you from gas fees, as well as gives you more gains because you're locking up T-shares now while they're cheap. So let's see, 5,000. Yeah, I actually went over it. So 5,000 hex currently. Let's look at Nox real quick. Let me put this over here. Let's go to hex. Let's go. Bam, 5,000. Oh, I put dollars. Whoops. 2 hours of sleep, you guys. So basically, right now, a stake. If you were trying to do a staking ladder, so let's just say you were trying to stake from 3 to 15 years. That's about roughly 12 years, right? And we were trying to do this sort of thing, right? So let's do 565 times 12. Whoa, 565 times 12. Basically looking at $6,780, give or take. So probably like $6,900 with fees and everything like that. You'd be able to essentially create a one stake ladder so you'd have one in April 1st from 2025 all the way out to about 2037. So you'd have some hex coming at every year, once a year for 13 years or 12 years, basically. And you'd have an average of, since your T-shirts keep going up from here, April 21st, then let's go to 26. Instead of it being that, now it went up to a 4th. So you're pretty much going to lock up something like, if I had to guesstimate, let's just say, you're going to have something like 6.5 T-shares, give or take, on 12 stakes. And then the T-share payout you're going to get out kind of maxes out at 10 years and stuff with the bonuses. So yeah, 68. So that's kind of like the average there. And then so it's a nice little ladder. And then this is how you start off, and then from there you can slowly build it up. So yeah. Is it still worth it? Yes, I personally think it still is, for sure. Though I personally do have a one T-share minimum for hex. Yeah, let me full screen this. I do have a one T-share minimum for a 1 to 2 year stakes, because gas fees are going to be a problem on Ethereum for the next 2 years, for sure. Even the 3, honestly the 3 year, I'm still like, I'm a little like, you could actually juice this up to like half a T-shirt. So if let's just go back to the 3 year. Let's just call it 1,100 days or something like that. Let's do a 3 year stake, right? If you were to do half a T-share on this, that would be you'd be a little safer on this. So maybe let's at 7,000. So something like that, 7,000 hex for staked out for this long, right? Let's just look at the days. That would be, oh my God, where am I? Yeah, May 21st, 1,100 days, 3 years. And that would give you about that much. That would be roughly about current prices. It's $800. So you're locking up $800 3 years from now, hoping you'd get a certain amount of money. And, no promises you'd have more hex you started with, but currently right now you're getting about, let's look at the current T-shirt payout, roughly about 6.1 hex per T-share. So I mean, at the very least, you'd be able to get about three T-shares, 3 hex given to you every single day for the next 3 years, not including like these random wicks that end up happening on these kind of crazy days where people are emergency unstaking and everything like that. So you could be locking up a decent APY. So I still believe it's very worth it, for sure. But you gotta do your research and also understand a lot of the rules. And you should look up my buddy what's it called, Crypto Coffee. Crypto Coffee does great videos on this and stuff. He's got a lot of tutorials. But yeah. God. Okay. Hexaconotone with the $5 super chat. Best coin to bridge after PulseChain launch to buy Pulse and PulseX. Should I swap my ETH into more Hex USDC? Basically, a mixture of the three, I think. I would be a little bit heavier on Hex, especially like, but if you already have your Hex packed, because your Ethereum's going to get copied over, but you're going to get one Pulse for it. So it's worthless. So it's like nothing, right? So you're better off if you had to choose, right? Like, oh, fuck, I already have my Hex packed. What do I get? Convert that shit over for USDC DAI. But remember, I'm a tax man here, so not financial advice, but you gotta figure out whether that. But in terms of like coins that are gonna have some value, I believe that USDC, and DAI, at least in the initial parts of like the first 3-4 weeks, should have some value there, and then that's your best bet in order to get PulseChain and all that stuff. Some people are gonna be speculating on like PUSDC and all these other coins on the other side for the other side, so people are gonna be willing to do that for you. Let's keep going down. Lots of chats because we showing love. Hey man, I appreciate it, man. I really do. Hit the like button, subscribe, man. But hit the like button. I'm trying to get this video viral. Let's get it. Let's see, DCC, the price of KSM held up regardless of the parachain unlocks this weekend. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I think it already did unlock actually. That's good. I mean, let's look at the price. KSM is at where? Let's see, KSM $74. Not bad. Let's look at last month. Yeah, it's down. It's down still quite a bit and stuff like that. I mean, yeah. If someone's held this long, I mean, like, what's the point of selling it? But some people would still sell it just because they want some money and stuff. So, is it generally? Let's see. I wonder if the KSM is priced in for them. Possibly. It could have. No, it could have been. But the thing is, every time I hear someone say that, like it's priced in, it's almost never completely priced. I mean, they say that, but like at least I know some with the equities, like, oh, it was priced in, or like oh, every time that there's the what do you call it, the halvening, it's priced in. I always hear that. It's always priced in, but it's never ever a complete price in. So there might be some. Who knows? Like I wouldn't like. We'll have to see. Be very careful around it. That's for sure. Wow, I just saw a Ethereum hex sale for 3.1 go. Bad math slippage. Well, let them get slippage, man. Good. Beautiful. They got less of a deal. All right. Ariel Beltre. See, Miguel, what are your thoughts on the launching price the starting launch price for PulseChain? So, okay, how do I do this? Will my math be correct? Okay. Let's bring the old calculator out. So, I'm going to do some math online or on the chart. Let's see. You guys able to see the calculator? I think you are. Okay, so I'm going to take this down. So, Richard said something that was really, really interesting, actually. So, Richard said Vitalik has roughly like 300,000, Ethereum, right? And he basically said that was worth $30. So if we're thinking like, $30, if because Vitalik has about 300,000 Ethereum and he's only getting one PulseChain per Ethereum, and he said, roughly he's getting about $30. This is the best guesstimate we have right now. So let's divide this by 300,000. This would be the price that he was pretty much saying that Vitalik's Ethereum is worth after the full, so we're talking about that's possibly could be the starting price to PulseChain right there. So interesting right there. It could give or take a zero, but that's basically where I think it could be. Just so this is the most information we've gotten from Richard, and I don't know if it was a slip up or something like that, but he's basically saying, all of Vitalik's Ethereum is only worth about $30. He's got 300,000 of it, so it's not the most perfect, but this is kind of like the best that we have in terms of possibility of where the price can be. and then from there, I think it'll go higher from there. It could be 1x or 0, but he basically when they activate the launches, the first transaction sets the price. So basically, Richard or whoever ends up setting the price, and they could set the price to this, and then yeah. There's one. I think no. I think there was like 1x or 0, 1x or 0. I think if I remember correctly. So I think this is a bit high. I think there really could be 1x or 0 at this at the very least. So we could be looking at something like that for the starting price, and then I think it could just rocket from there because people don't have it at all. So it could be quite a an interesting thing. It's very possible we can get to half a penny, before we have a big correction. It's totally possible, but it just all depends on the starting price. If there's 1x or 0 on this, it might hit an all-time high on the first part of it within the first couple weeks of a maybe 10% of a penny, 5% of a penny, something like that. It's possible. It just depends on the zeros, but if you're buying with fresh capital and then it pumps like that, you got a bunch of X's, a ton of X's. Then from there, you're more of just allocating money either to PUSDC and USDC, and then seeing where it chills out once it does its 80% correction from there. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Let's see if the likes don't get it viral. That chat shirt. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, someone's been asking me like, here's the watch. I don't know, like I just haven't been wearing it and stuff. People have been asking me about the Rolexes and stuff. But yeah, sometimes I just like like this thing is really because it has gold on it. It's pretty heavy actually. This thing's like it's actually pretty heavy. Let me see if I can tighten it. Actually, it's a little loose. Depending, it's really like one thing I've noticed when you're wearing this, your skin and your body does like I've noticed like my skin on my wrists and stuff. I never noticed this, but like sometimes like my wrist is fatter or like it's skinnier just throughout the day, just depending I guess on how much like moisture or water I'm holding in my body. It's kind of wild because like I adjust my watch like a couple times a day, like. And usually in the morning and stuff when I wake up, it's like I've got it like tightened down to the tightest knot, and then by like middle of the day, it's like I've got it loosened up pretty much and most, and then by the nighttime it like shrinks back down. Fucking crazy, dude. I never noticed that about myself, but yeah, it just is what it is. Let's see, more pain to come, but I believe the unlocked fundamentals. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's see if it drops now with the rest of the alts. BTC dominance is well in charge now. Well, it is kind of going up, I guess. Let me double check that. You may have a point there, actually. Where's the dominance? 42.4. Yeah, well, let me see. Let's look at the last 30 days. Why is it not showing Bitcoin dominance? I'll have to double check it some other time, but yeah, I think you may be. I think Bitcoin dominance is going up right now because people are trying to run into it, but I think that will go down. If I'm going off my gut feeling on this, you'll have Ethereum kind of take some of that shine away, and then that'll bring the alts back up. So I think Bitcoin dominance does go up for the next couple months, and then it'll start trending back down. So for the after like 2-3 months from now, basically. But yeah, it's a good observation. Any benefit for getting wrapped, bro? No. What are you doing? Don't waste your time on that shit. That's so like low ROI, dude. Stables or Hex or let me try to think of any other coin that could hold. Maybe Shiba or Doge. I mean, I'd rather have you speculate on Shiba and Doge because people sacrifice for that. Like PulseChain Captain Clap. No, dude, don't waste your time on that. That's just like it's just no, dude, don't. Is it better for PulseChain to launch at a SAC price or launch 10 times higher, 10 times higher relative? Well, It'll be. I think it'll be at a price basically with the top 20 wallets who sacrifice for for PulseChain and PulseX will probably be above water, but won't be much in profit. And then actual cash that needs to come into the market is really going to pump it up, and then people arbitraging, moving money around and stuff. I think that's what's going to end up doing it. If I had a guesstimate on it, yeah. Whatever, nothing against Hex, but whatever happened to Hex pumps every 47 days. Well, I wasn't really saying that myself personally because like I'm not, I don't be, I'm not a chartist and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't saying that personally. I've been through parts and stuff where Hex just didn't pump. Like one of the biggest times where it didn't pump was where after the AA phase was over, and we were just kind of sideways for months and months and months until like we essentially needed news on the Hex ecosystem, and then we basically got the launch of the PulseChain sacrifice phase, and then after all that supply was contracted, we got a new all-time high, and then yeah, that was really nice. And then from there with the sacrifice for PulseX, we didn't get as high as an all-time high, but I think we got into, I think at some point we were for very slightly, we were in the 36 to 40 cent range for like a little bit, but mostly in the lower 30-cent range. And then from there, we kind of went back down to the 18-cent range. But yeah. Let's see. I have the same problem with my watch. Oh yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, like that's why I chose a Submariner. Yeah, like the Submariner watches are really because you're supposed to go scuba diving with this, but obviously you wouldn't. But like you would, but you can. Where like it has like a little clasp right here where you could. I don't know if you could hear that, but like it has like a little clasp where you could. Let me see. Yeah, you can pop it. You can pop it out, and then you can essentially just make it go up and down, basically, and then just have it kind of go back down like that. So you can make this tighter as loose as you want, and then and then just lock it in, basically. Desert Cheeks and go. Oh fuck, Bubba! Don't you be throwing that fucking juju on me. Let's see. Will USDC and DAI have the same dollar value on PulseChain, or no coin will be a set price in the beginning? They'll have a set price, but then market demand will determine it as people, because we won't have a curve or something like that right in the beginning, or at least I don't think so. Then it's going to be really dependent on which side is overly sold or a bot. Basically, there's going to be people arbing it, and then the people arbing it, which means selling between the two, essentially ratio trading, are going to try to make cheese grade about 1 or 2% off of that. And those guys are doing that actually are quite important because they keep the price pretty stable. But at some point, if people are taking massive profits or jumping in, you could have a part with one of them kind of slightly deep pegs, and then people trading it back and forth will just speculate on it. So there's going to be a lot of that right there for sure. Let's see. Arnold M. I got my parents to put 1K into Hex to get some pulse, and I still can't get my brothers to do it. Man, slap your brothers up. Just all right. What you need to do is no, go into their purses, steal their credit. No, your brother's purses. But I got my parents to put 1K in house. I mean, you're just gonna have to show them the mad gains, but it's just like over time. I mean, it's just you might have to kind of gift them some Hex and stuff like that, and then like, hey, look, this is your Hex or something like that. But that's a damn shame because right now the prices are really good right now. I'll give you the matcha thing right now. So here it is. So actually, I'll show you matcha as well. This is matcha XYZ. Basically, you just connect your wallet. It works on mobile and on desktop. Here's the link right here, my dude. Use that exact link that I put in the chat, and that's the actual real link right there. And then you can save that to your tabs upstairs or your bookmarks. Damn, I think I over tightened this thing. Ouch. Jesus Christ, let me loosen that up a little bit. Damn, I was cutting circulation to my wrist. Fuck. But yeah, that's matcha. Pimp ass shirt. Thank you, sir. Balenciaga. Will Solana survive? It will. Yeah, it will. There's so much VC money behind that shit. Even it's fucking not working, and they're just keep putting money up and stuff on it. So it's one chain I'm extremely confident it will survive. Price performance wise, it can get in the shitter, but it will survive. It will make it into the next cycle, like by hook or crook. These VCs, and then it's really the only U.S. chain. in the system right now. Like there's really there's no other US based chain that was created at all. So the United States at some point will figure out like, oh fuck, we're behind on the schedule. They just dump money into fucking Luna and like any other fucking thing that like they have a little control and then pump the market that way. But yeah. Okay, Junior Beltray. Okay, Miguel, what's up? I know this is down the line, but what are your thoughts on the state of Hex once Ethereum fixes their gas problems and PulseChain price gas increase? What chain will dominate? It'll be a mixture of both. I mean, well, you'll still have a lot of people using that, but if that were to happen and more eHex will start getting dominant, you'll see a little bit of a weakness on the PHEX side, but I think it'll be pretty evenly matched. I mean, it's pretty much going to be a gold and silver relationship. I'm kind of guessing people treating regular Hex. I actually believe that the daily T-shirt payout for Hex is going to be much lower than PHEX. I think PHEX will probably end up being somewhere around this range here, maybe even a little higher. The Hex one's going to tend towards, I would say, about like 3.8 or 4 Hex per T-share. I think that's the long-term trend I see. But it's going to take a while to get there because once we do get price increases, once we at some point we get like $1, maybe $5, or it depends on how many, a year, 2, 3 years, whatever, how long it takes. If that were to happen, you would see the T-shirt payout to keep increasing as people are emergency unstaking, selling their coins, and there's a little that is liquid supply out, and people aren't restaking it. But after that, the prices collapse back down, it's restaked down, and then you start getting OTC desks starting to pop up that are essentially doing more of a grayscale sort of lockup trust. That starts locking up the circulating supply down, and then whales start essentially buying 555s that they can't market dump, but they're holding shares onto, and then that could actually start pushing down the T-shirt payout for Hex, which could really drive, it can drive it down. So that's kind of the thing. That's the only thing I'm worried about. They're just going to have to. That means a lot of Hex is going to have to be locked up as well on the normal retail side to compensate that, because you're going to have a rising Hex price in order to match the lower T-shirt payout in order to make it worth it. Operation Desert Cheeks Proof Submariner, yes sir. Why are you so sure that PUSDC and DAI will have any more value than random RC20 tokens? Because they're stable coins. A ton of USDC and DAI was these are one of the few coins that the OA ended up keeping. We're just basically off of tracking the OA wallets and stuff like that, or the sacrifice addresses. Not the OA wallets. I'm sorry, the sacrifice wallets. Those are the main stable coins we're using. So it's just inferring that like those are probably the ones that are going to have value when the system launches initially. Yep. I fucking hope not, man. That if we do that, bro, we're hitting that. Fuck, man. We have a tether meltdown, dude. Oh my god, bro. We're hitting $17,000 BTC, bro. I mean it. Like if tether goes bust, bros. Like, I mean, oh my god. I mean, like it's like, I mean, That's what happened to the market, bro. Bros, if Tether blows up, bros, fuck. I think that out of like it would it's oh my god, bros, like fuck like bruh. Like that's why I throw it in the towel. Okay, bear market. Yeah. Okay, bear market. I'll be like white. I'll be like, wait, let me get the Rolex fucking handkerchief. White flag. It's over, you guys. That's it right there. Tether blows up, bros. Like they officially fucking killed this market. We're like, god damn. That's like, oh my Lord Christ. Jesus. Shit. Oh my god, that'd be so bad, dude. That would be so bad. Never say never. I mean, dudes. But with that hopium, there you go. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get over 10,000 subs. So close, you guys. I love you guys. Mwah. And with that, man, I'll catch you guys on the next one. My next stream is going to be a really Hex Pacifica stream and stuff. So for any of you guys that want to check me out and stuff like that, I will be at the CME in Miami with Donovan Sharp. So I'll be speaking there for the next for about 4 days, give or take. So catch you guys soon. Peace.